Hello, this is Sarah. It's my first reflective video journal for cross-cultural counseling, September 3rd, 2011. So far I'm enjoying the cross-cultural counseling class a lot. I really enjoy reading about culture. It was my undergraduate degree in international relations and global studies, so I enjoy traveling. I've been abroad for about 7 months in Argentina, where I got to feel really what it is to be an outsider, someone who doesn't know the language, someone who doesn't know the culture, and through those 7 months was able to learn about people other than myself. I grew up in Hawaii, and so that was a very multicultural area to have my formative years in, and I think that's really helped me be open-minded to others and to understand that people aren't the same as you and I mean, everyone is different and everyone has different backgrounds as far as like socioeconomic status, their gender, their sexual identity, and so everyone's experience of this world is so different, which, is good and bad. I think as a counselor, one of the things I'm most scared about is being able to dissect someone or helping them get to know themselves, making sure that I'm asking the right questions, that I'm not saying things that offend them and automatically turn them off from me. That's the last thing I would ever want someone to think, is that, that I'm racist or that I'm sexist or that I just won't understand them, because I will try my hardest to understand and to help anyone who comes into my office. And so I guess that's something that I've just been scared about after reading, especially about the microaggressions, just little things that you say or little facial expressions. I know I'm a very expressive person, so that's something that I'm going to have to work on, is making sure that I don't smile at the wrong time, or I don't laugh nervously, or do something that'll turn someone off from me and make them uncomfortable with me. People have always said I'm pretty relatable and I'm pretty friendly, so I'm hoping that carries through in my work. But it really helps to break down, as many of these ethnicities as we can and learn about them from a theories background. I know especially with the Asian Americans, I can relate pretty well to them, along with Hispanic Americans. In Hawaii there's a lot of different types of Asian groups, and so you learn a lot about what their culture is made up of. And so the idea of the whole not individualistic, but the importance of the group, I understand, whereas some in my class don't understand it. I guess for me, one of the things that I'm most excited about is learning about the African American culture. I haven't had much experience with anyone from the African American culture, and my group project is going to be on African Americans, so I'm really taking the steps to learn more about things that I don't understand. And I think in order to be a culturally competent counselor, that is something that you have to be as proactive. You have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to get to know people that you haven't necessarily had the chance to interact with. So I think that's going to help me become a better counselor. I think something else that I think learning about the African American culture is, when we're talking about privilege, oppression, social justice, I mean, that's something that definitely hit me hard. It was reading about Hurricane Katrina and the race relations there. It's something that I definitely want to look further into, and I'm sure I will, with my upcoming video journal on African Americans. I brought it up with my husband, and it was interesting. We got into an interesting conversation about what he's observed as far as microaggressions go, and as far as race relations in the United States goes. He's a huge football and NBA fan, and so he compared it to sports. And if you ever watch on sports networks when they're announcing, if you're looking at quarterbacks, for example, a white quarterback is, always described as intelligent, very smart in their decision making. They place the ball just right because they know the game. Whereas black or African American quarterbacks are always described as fierce and aggressive, and man, they are just monsters. They get the ball and they just so powerful. They just break through things, and it's just interesting to see those tiny little microaggressions, things that, you know, you don't really ever see them as racist, but they are. I think keeping those in check, I know there was some that I read and I thought, wow, I didn't think I was a racist person, but maybe some things that I say I should really think twice about. And so I guess for me, things that have made me upset in this class is realizing that I have biases still, even though I've lived in so many different areas of the country, in Hawaii and California, and a small town in Florida and Pensacola, which was mostly white, where I moved to North Carolina from. I've lived in Argentina. I mean, I've lived in so many different areas and interacted with so many different people. I thought I'm void of racism, but I'm not. I'm sure there's, you know, things that I say or do that can be perceived as racist, and I think that's sad. It makes me angry that, you know, that I could be perceived as racist, because that's something that I don't want to be. I guess for me, really, I mean, when I think about people who I'm going to have the hardest time interacting with, would be people from small towns who haven't been out anywhere, who have a very narrow mind of what the world is, people who, I guess very conservative white people, conservative people in general, really piss me off usually. I get very angry, and that's something that I'm going to have to control, because they don't hold the same values as me. And I guess with cross-cultural counseling, that's just something that I'm learning, is that how to work with people that you don't agree with, how not to get angry, how not to show that anger, and how we must still help everyone even if we don't have the same values. I guess as far as just continuing on this path of becoming culturally competent, I can only continue to research and continue to work with students from different, I mean, I work in housing, so I'm working with students from all different backgrounds, but just taking advantage of that and getting to know each one of them personally and just picking their brains about their culture. That's one of the best things I can do for myself to become a culturally competent counselor. And that's it for today.